Hello, it's me, Alicia. Happy afternoon. How are you doing today? It's Monday. Yay! I know so many people are like, but Alicia, it's Monday. I love Mondays. Mondays is that day where I'm like, yes, it's the beginning of the week, fresh new outlook. So I hope that you had a beautiful, wonderful weekend. I know that it was pretty humid in our little neck of the woods. A little bit of rain here and there. Uh, but I'm telling you, we needed it. I just wish it would have lasted longer. And I'm really excited to come live today because lately I've been noticing some people having a hard time staying positive. And honestly, over the last couple of years, that is like one of the tippy top questions that I get asked on a regular basis is how in the heck do you stay so dang positive for what appears to be all the time, right? Because let's keep it honest. I'm not always like chipper and in a good mood, right? But I have some tips that I'm going to be dropping here to help you stay positive, even when life gets hard. Okay. And I found a couple of quotes that I wanted to share with you. But while I'm sharing that, I want you to let me know down below if you've been kind of having a hard time with staying positive. Also, of course, let me know if you are watching me live or, if you're watching replay, because I love to come and say hi and see who all has checked everything out. So the couple of quotes that I found were having a positive mental attitude is asking how something can be done rather than saying it can't be done. And that was by Bo Bennett. Another one was to avoid situations in which you might make mistakes, maybe the biggest mistake of all. That was by Peter McWilliams. And then the last one, I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name, but I thought that it was very interesting. We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. And I think that is an Anais Nin. So, like, these are super amazing because it makes you think. It is the fact that you have the choice to be positive. You have the choice to live a happy life, right? And one of the first things that I started to work on consciously with my own personal development was to better my outlook on life because beforehand it wasn't all that great. And I had started to delve into the topic step by step, and while sometimes tumbling backwards, I built a more optimistic outlook, an attitude that would over time become more and more stable, so that I can not only look at the world in a more positive way on the good days, but I could also stay positive and constructive even on the tougher days and on those days that I just felt like "Puh," right? And I am going to share a few of the best, smartest, most effective habits for doing this that I learned over the years. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into my full list. If you want the full thing, I'm actually going to be diving a bit deeper in this tomorrow in my Happy and Pamper community. So if you are not a member of that just as of yet, make sure that you stay happy below and I will totally get you in there. But I want to be respectful of your time. So I'm just going to share just a few here. The first one being find the optimistic viewpoint in a negative situation. Yes. Find that silver lining, my friend. Okay. One of the most simplest but most effective ways to build a more positive outlook has, in my experience, been to ask more helpful questions as often as possible. So when I'm in what seems like a negative situation, maybe I've been lazy, maybe I made a mistake, maybe I failed or stumbled, right? In some way, I like to ask myself questions like, what's one thing that is positive or good about the situation? Because most of the time, what do? We go immediately to the negative, right? Pause for a moment and ask, what is something positive or good? All right. Or what is one opportunity within the situation? Okay. And I know you've heard me say it before, time and time again. Failure is an opportunity to learn, right? So if you're like, oh crap, it didn't, turn out the way that I wanted, that's okay. What's the lesson, right? Um, Doing so is a whole lot better than what I used to do in such situations, because back then I usually asked myself how much I sucked and how things could get even worse, right? I do, however, not always ask questions right away. I really do like to spend a bit of time in the emotions and process the thoughts and feelings that arise in the situation. Um, Before I really dive into, the silver lining, what's the positivity. So I'm trying to force an optimistic thinking when you are still in an emotional turmoil or a bit of shock. Usually asking those questions, it doesn't fit well, and you're not going to get the right answer that you were looking for. Okay. Number two, cultivate and live in a positive environment. So, who you choose to spend your time with and the input you get from further away, like TV, social media, magazines, they will all have a huge effect on your outlook on life. Okay. So, to be able to stay positive is essential to have influences in your life that support you and lift you up instead of dragging you down and sucking the energy out. So, carefully consider what and who you let in to your mind. Okay. You can, for example, ask yourself, who are the three most negative people I spend my time with? Who are the energy suckers or the energy vampires? Right. And what are the three of the most negative sources of information I spend my time on? Many of you know I stopped watching the news 10 years ago. That was one place where I just got so much anxiety and there was so much negativity that I just couldn't do it anymore. I had to stop, right? And I will tell you, I'm much better for it. Okay. So when you consider the answers, think about how you can start spending less time with either the people or the places that suck out that energy, that drag you down. All right. And spend more of your time, right, with yourself and or of course people that are going to link arms with you and uplift you, empower you in your life. All right. The third thing I'm going to share with you today is to go slowly. Okay. It's not a bam, my life is positive now. Okay. I found that when I went too fast, and many of you know, if you know me for a super long time, I'm always like, right? But when I slowed things down and I would try to think, talk, eat, move around in my world really quickly, things didn't go well. So I had to slow down. Stress was building up too much, too frequently. Okay. Negative thoughts, just about everything and anything started to well up, and I felt like my own personal power just decreased constantly, right? But again, when I slow things down just for a few minutes, that's why I meditate a lot. Even if I had to force it, walking, talking, eating slower, I love to talk, my mind and my body would calm down. Hello, right? It becomes easier to think things through more clearly, and it's easier to find the optimistic and the constructive perspectives. Okay. So those are just three of the ways that I really love to work on staying positive. Now, again, there's about 7 other steps to this. So if you want to get those other steps, totally say happy below, and I will get you into my happy and pampered community. This month we are focusing on our self-worth, and I want that for you too, because that was a huge area for me where when I really started paying attention and working on my self-worth, like seriously everything changed, because that's really where it starts. right? With personal development, your outlook on yourself and how you feel about yourself, all of those things. Okay. So again, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Trying to be conscientious of time, and so go ahead, say happy below, and just we are going to do some incredible things this month. So I also have some things coming at the end of the month, or something coming at the end of the month that I'm really excited about. So make sure to stay tuned for that because it's coming and I'm so excited. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful week. And as always, if you're struggling with something and you just need somebody to hear you out or you need to vent, pop into my DMs, okay? Because I'm always happy to be here for you. I absolutely adore you and I believe in you. So it's going to just be so incredible. I love you. Have a wonderful day. And again, have a wonderful week. I'm here for you. Get out there and make the most happiest life that you can possibly think of. I'll see you later. Bye.